All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I want to briefly review the trades that I took this morning. Took 2 trades on PayPal. That's usually what I trade. I've been trading PayPal pretty much every single day for months now. The benefit of trading only one name is that you become very familiar with that name. You become familiar with how it moves, familiar with where the buyers and the sellers are. And I just, I feel comfortable trading one name over and over and over again. So we're going to go ahead and look at the charts. I'm going to briefly explain, why I took the trade, where I exited, and all that good stuff. So if you like these videos, please do give them a thumbs up. Seems like some of you are enjoying the trade recaps. It's basically like a trade journal, right? And if you are trading, make sure you're journaling your trades. It can be through video format or a spreadsheet. Really, you should do it all. Screenshot it, post it to Instagram. If you also want to follow my trades on Instagram, go to millennial_trades at millennial_trades to follow my my charts. Every single day, I post my losers, I post my winners, and there's some cool content up on there too. All right, so without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so here we go. I took 2 trades today on PayPal. The first trade was basically an emotionless trade because I was out at the top of this green candle here. And I'm glad I did take my profits because it made it for, sort of an easy morning. But I entered 4 contracts on this candle when I saw that we were really holding up. We had strong buying pressure because this used to be a red candle, right? We opened up right here. We, kind of made this high and then boom, we dropped down. But before the candle had closed, buyers had pushed price back up. And PayPal has kind of been chopping around that 300 range. So I figured we could get a little bit of a push. You had the volatility index as well going down. But I wanted to be very careful about this. This was, a quick scalp, and I didn't stay a moment longer. So I entered 4 contracts. I think I got the 305s because they weren't too expensive. I got them for $250, and then I bought 2 more at $247. And then by the time we got up here, boom, they were worth, I think I sold them for $3. Let me see. I think give me a second here. Let me just turn off that. I think I sold them for $325, right? $325 is what I sold them for. So I made $300, right, on 4 contracts. I made about, I guess, $75 on each contract. So yeah, about $300 is what I made. Right there. I think with the options trading fee, it came out to be I think it was exactly 300. So, some time goes by. I'm watching the chart. I helped my brother with a trade. He took a trade on SPY, and I entered a second trade. Now, this trade was very sloppy. You can actually see on Instagram. I can actually let me pull up my Instagram here real quick. Yeah, so here is my trade, my first trade, and then here's my second trade, right? So just so you can sort of visualize my entries and exits. So we had some bottoming tails. We had some bottoming tails, in this area, and I really thought, after this pullback, we would kind of start bouncing. So I started entering, right? And we did not bounce, right? We had to go even lower to bounce off of support. Now we do kind of have demand around the $300 area, so I wasn't too worried when it did pull back, but I entered again when I saw this candle right here, right? I saw this candle form, and I was like, okay, this is the part where it's going to bounce. So I entered a second time. Well, we didn't quite bounce yet. It had to go down a little bit lower. I'm now down on the position, but as soon as I saw this green candle here, boom, right? And this is a 1-minute chart, but that indicates very heavy buying pressure, right? And then if you look at it on a 5-minute chart, you look at it on the 5-minute chart, that looks really, really good. So I entered a third time. We kind of chopped around for a bit. And remember, I'm down on the position. I've sort of averaged down. So I'm now looking to just try to get rid of this as quick as I can. The anxiety is kind of kicking in, and I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to just to regret the entry altogether. And I wish I had been a little bit more patient and sort of waited for a 5-minute candle that looks like this. Because I think I was entering on this candle right here. And even though it looked decent on the 1 minute, it kind of looked like an area of consolidation. And you did have a nice, bullish looking candle on the 1 minute. It had to come down a little bit further. So we chop around a little bit. Then we sort of break out of that range. It pulls back, and then it starts heading for VWAP. And so it chopped around a little bit, kind of pulled back. And I'm thinking at this point, as soon as it hits VWAP, I'm just going to sell. And that's exactly what I did. It came up, and that's where I sold. I lost money on the first contract, and I lost like $2 or $3 on the second contract. But the rest of the contracts I made money on. So, my average was like, I sold them for 184, I think. 182. I sold them for 182. But my average was like, I think it was like 160 or something. And so in hindsight, had I held just a few more minutes, this would have been an amazing trade. I probably would have made, I don't know, maybe like $400 or $500, and it would have been more like a $700 day or maybe an $800 day. But we were right under the VWAP, and I was not going to take a chance of this, rejecting and, being down on the day. So you really can't predict these things. I made the best decision, I thought, in the moment. Had I sort of gotten in maybe down here, entered all my, this is what I should have done. I should have waited for something like this. I should have waited for, a 5-minute candle that looked more like this. This would have been a great entry. Your stop loss would have been, right here at 298.56, right? And so you would have entered on this candle. It would have chopped around a little bit, but then, I probably would have had the mental and emotional fortitude to hold for at least this run here. Not saying I would have held all the way till up here, but I probably would have been able to catch a little bit more of this, had I not been entering over here and, had to sort of sit through the pullback, was down on the position. You guys know how it goes. But that does put me up, that puts me up at about, I'm trying to get to the 1 minute chart. That puts me up at about $360 on the day. It says 380, but of course, there's options, trading fees. And so it came out to about 360, right? So I took 2 trades today, and that's it. I still have a couple $1,000s worth of buying power, but I'm not going to take any more trades today. That's a great way to start Monday. Over trading, I know from the data, from the journaling, from the spreadsheets, the data tells me that the more I trade throughout the day, the more I tend to lose. And the later in the day that I trade, my accuracy goes down the later in the day that it is. So that's what I'm looking for, is just quick moves like that at the open. I guess one regret is not loading up on maybe like, instead of getting 4 contracts, I wish I would have gotten more like 8 or 10 contracts. And, my stop loss would have been right here, the low right here. Had I done that, I would have made like $600 or $700 up at the top here. But that's just the way it goes. I was trying to practice risk management today, so I think I did a pretty good job with that. And yeah, we're up almost a couple thousand for the month. I did take a hit. I think it was 2 Fridays ago. So, I spent last week getting that back, but last week I made, I think, 23 or 2,400. This year I'm up like 1,700%, 1,700%. I'm up a little more than that, actually. And, that's how I trade. So let me know if you have questions down below. Go and check out my video I posted earlier today, which is basically, top 5 trading gurus that I think everybody, especially beginners, should watch. It's a very good video, and I've got all my channel recommendations and the links for those channels in the comment section of that video. But if you guys have any other questions about my strategy or my trades, or if you anything you want to ask, just let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe I can make a video about it. I know people have been asking for more like 101 type of videos on how to get started. Maybe how to set up Thinkorswim. I've been getting a lot of questions on how how to set up the active trader feature on Thinkorswim. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, until next time, God bless. And thank God every single day, because without God, none of this is possible.